and welcome. I am Trish and this is Trish Talks. And on this channel, I offer up tips on interior design, DIY home renovation projects, and gardening. And on today's video, I'm going to give you 7 tips on how to decorate your small kitchen. We'll go over different kitchen layouts and hacks to make your kitchen feel bigger and high-end. But before we get started, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and notification bell for more content like this. Now, on to the video. First up, the one-wall kitchen. You typically find the one-wall kitchens in a small studio apartment or a one-room rental. The layout is exactly how it sounds. All of the cabinets, counters, and appliances are all on one wall. These kitchens work well in small spaces because they are efficient and conserve space. In this type of kitchen, I would actually avoid using a lot of open shelving. Since the kitchen is open to everything, you want most of your kitchen items hidden behind closed doors. This way, you hide the kitchen's messy side. Also, who wants to look at hanging pots and pans while chilling on the couch or lying in the bed? If possible, try to design the kitchen cabinetry and backsplash to tie into the rest of the space. If you can get the appliances faced with cabinetry, that works really well too. Or try to make the cabinets unique elements so that they don't look like typical kitchen cabinets. This creates an interesting element in the room and helps you and others see past the fact that there's a kitchen in the middle of your living space. The next one up is the small L-shaped kitchen. The L-shaped kitchen uses 2 of the 3 walls in the space for cabinets and appliances. In a small kitchen, the 3rd wall is usually empty or a small table and chairs occupy that space. This layout gives you just a little bit more room than the one-wall kitchen. Sometimes this layout also opens to the main living spaces. And if that's the case, then use the suggestions I just mentioned above. If your L-shaped kitchen is in a separate room, using some open shelving or glass front doors is okay here. Don't overdo it with open shelving. You still need somewhere to hide the mess. Nothing makes a small space look smaller than clutter. We'll talk more about that later. If there's a window in the space, try to allow as much natural light in as possible. This too will make the space feel bigger. Since the space is already separated, you can be bold with your cabinets, your backsplash, and your lighting. Unique color combinations, patterns, and shapes will create a designer feel in your small space. People are now focusing on the beautiful finishes and not on the fact that the kitchen is small. Third up, the small peninsula kitchen. The peninsula kitchen is the L-shaped kitchen with an island. However, one side of the island is attached to the wall, so technically that makes it a peninsula. Even in a small space, these kitchens feel larger because they are open to the adjoining spaces. They benefit from the visual real estate of those adjoining spaces. The peninsula typically offers additional counter space, but more importantly, people love to add seating to this area. One quick note, this is a little pet peeve of mine. Please don't place bar height stools at a counter height peninsula. Use counter height stools. The taller bar stools work well for those peninsulas that have that raised secondary counter. And you know when you've picked up the wrong height stools because your legs can barely fit up underneath the counter. With that said, this is the time to get creative with your seating. It can be the color, the shape, or style of the stool that adds interest to your peninsula. If you have enough space, a small regular height table and chairs added to the end of the peninsula also adds more seating, function, and style. If there isn't a lot of space, a peninsula with a waterfall edge works really well here. That way, that exposed side now has a high-end finished look. Lastly, adding some shelving, cabinetry, or artwork on the wall above the peninsula can create additional storage and interest in your small kitchen. Fourth up, the small U-shaped kitchen. The U-shaped kitchen uses all three sides of this small area. It often offers more counter space, even though it's a small kitchen. Investing in higher end counters in this space will make a big impact on the overall design. In this layout, people often make their stoves and hoods the center of attention. This is another area where you can be bold with your design ideas or invest a little bit more money in your appliances. Remember that this layout has a lot of corners. Unique storage ideas will be necessary here so you can create the most efficient use of space. The Lazy Susan or pull-out corner drawers work well. A corner appliance garage is a good look here too. If the U-shaped kitchen is large enough, you can place a small island, butcher block, or stainless steel table in the center, making the space even more functional. This is a nice layout for small spaces because of the amount of cabinets and counter space it offers. Fifth up, the galley kitchen. The galley kitchen is a long, narrow kitchen with two parallel walls of cabinetry and appliances, and an aisle that runs straight down the middle. This layout has seen a rise in popularity lately as some people are moving away from the open floor plan. Now, that's not me because I love an open floor plan, but some people are moving away. People are opting to add a wall or door to the end of their galley kitchens. Because the area is separate from the other living spaces, keeping the mess out of the view of guests is very nice. To keep the space from looking like a bowling alley or a long hallway, break up the look of the parallel sides. If there is a window on one side, that will naturally help. If there isn't a window, then open shelving on one side and closed cabinets on the other will work. Or no upper cabinets on one side. That will help make the space feel bigger. Try adding a mirror over the sink or stove. Add interest with unique colors on the cabinets and walls. Now, this is a long shot, but if there is a way for you to cut an opening in one of the walls, one of the galley walls, so that you can look out over another living space, that would make the space feel more open, literally, because you'll be looking out to another space. If not, stick with lighter cabinets, at least the upper cabinets, so that the space does feel small and dark. The sixth layout is the small kitchen with an island. Depending on the size of the kitchen, I've seen people add islands to each of the layouts I've already mentioned. In today's small kitchens, most people still want an island. And as a designer, they want me to figure out how to add one. People love islands because they offer more counter space, additional storage below, and usually space for informal seating. But most importantly, islands allow people to gather around them, and not to mention it's typically where the food is. If your kitchen is small, but you want the look and feel of an island in that space, try adding a butcher block island in the center. It has a small footprint, but it has a substantial look. A stainless steel restaurant style table with open shelves below also take up little space and maintain that open feel. You may be able to have a traditional style island just without the additional overhang for seating. But now I need you to remember, if you must add an island to your small kitchen, make sure to leave at least 3 feet around each side. And lastly, the 7th tip applies to all small kitchens. Stay clutter-free and organized. Look, check out my declutter video for in-depth details on decluttering in a kitchen, and I'll link it in the description box below. But the short answer here is to keep those open shelves and countertops free of unnecessary stuff. The open shelves should hold dishware of one color as to not be visually distracting. Your countertops should have no more than 3 small appliances on them, or maybe 1 or 2 decorative elements. You should definitely use built-in trash cans because they work best in small kitchens. If not, you'll be placing your trash cans at the end of the counter, and this is usually unsightly and in the way. Lastly, if the space truly isn't big enough, don't try to squeeze in that small table or island. Just enjoy this open space as it is. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Until next time, bye.